Over 2 years ago at this point, right? I heard the Chinese, they're hacking our TikTok. They spy on us on TikTok. They know our ballsack barcodes. And I was unlike the other boys. I was quirky. I deleted TikTok after all. But in actuality, I decided to quit TikTok because I kind of felt loserish. Every day after school, I'd come home and I'd scroll. As you do, as you probably do. And I'd see something hot like, Velma Rule 34 or like some Amy from Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'd fap, go on to prawn and fap. And then the cycle would repeat, maybe like 2 or 3 times in just one day. So I deleted it, like I said. And that lasted probably like a couple months before I re-downloaded it because I was a bit of a simp, I'm not even gonna lie. Some girls I was talking to and I wanted to send them TikToks and shit. It was some simp behavior, Mordecai behavior, I'm not gonna lie. But after that simp phase, I fully committed myself to deleting TikTok. And this was like a year and 8 months ago now. So 1 year, over a year without TikTok. What does it actually entail? I'm gonna start with this. I'm not trying to sound like cringy, like, oh my god, it's so good. But this was the best decision that I've made on self-improvement, right besides quitting prawn. They're right beside each other. It's not like this one's better, this one's slightly worse. They're right beside each other, like they're hand in hand. And it will be life-changing. It truly is life-changing. Because when you think about it, social media and prawn, we're grown up on it. So when it's taken away, we see a new layer of life that we haven't seen before, that we're not used to, but it's a beautiful layer of life. It's the way we're supposed to see the world. I see a lot of people, right, at my school, just peers, mid-conversation, pull out their phone and start scrolling. Like we're all eating at a restaurant, pull out their phone and start scrolling. They're not messaging anyone. Even that's a bit annoying when people pull out their phone and start messaging people, which I'm guilty of sometimes. I'm not even going to lie. But they'll pull out their phone and they'll start scrolling on TikTok. No value, just a distraction because their brain can't handle having a simple conversation. And when you delete TikTok, when you delete these useless distractions, you'll stop doing this, for one. And you'll actually enjoy having a conversation. You'll be able to look someone in the eyeballs and talk to them deeply. Real thoughts exchanging back and forth. But a downside, another social interaction, like tidbit here. When you delete it, like some people will say some shit that you just don't understand. You'll feel like how old people feel when they hear modern slang, right? Like some baby Gronk. Like some person commented something about baby Gronk being the drip king, and I looked it up. What do you know? It's some TikTok thing. And it made me really realize, like, damn, I really don't get any of these memes. But it's a good feeling at the same time. Because these memes, like, you'll hear about them, and you'll be like, that is the stupidest shit I think I've ever heard. Baby Gronk, rizzed up, some Maddie. Moral of the story, the content makes you dumb. These memes constantly being filtered into your brain, like you're scrolling for hours. Like people literally scroll for hours every day. And you see this terribly dumb stuff. Like in moderation, dumb memes, I'm not even gonna lie, they're kind of funny. Like once in a while, they're kind of funny. Like I even put them in my videos. But like constantly for hours, that's literally gonna make you dumb. When your brain is constantly seeing this dumb stuff, you're going to literally become dumb. The biggest by far, the thing that improved was attention. Before, right, I'd be sitting in class or like some study hall, right? Like during study hall, you do your homework. So I'd be sitting there and I'd write down a couple problems, pull out my phone, scroll, write down a couple problems, pull out, scroll. I couldn't sit there and just focus on what I was doing. And the thing about attention is that attention is us. What we spend our attention on is what we are, what we become, what we think of ourselves. So when you delete these social medias, get rid of these meaningless distractions, and instead have all this attention to yourself now that you can spend on meaningful things, how could your life not get better? And there's a reason all these apps are free, right? Like, you ever wonder why TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, I don't know, Facebook, what else is there? Be Real. They're all free for a reason. They're free because they don't want just your money, right? Like, their money's kind of like second afterthought to them. The main thing they're after is your attention, because attention is the most valuable currency on this planet, especially now. Maybe like in the 1750s when the traders were trading horse shit with each other. Like, some schmeckles were more worth it than attention, but now attention is the #1 currency. That's why there's algorithms on TikTok, on YouTube, literally catered. Not catered. These algorithms are not catered to making sure you spend money on their things, right? Like, give them money. Their algorithm is catered to keeping you on the website, so you keep watching and you keep giving your attention. And that's because they would rather have your attention than money, because attention is the most valuable currency. But on a side note here, with addictions, you usually get withdrawals, right? Like, if you were getting off black tar heroin, I heard you orgasm uncontrollably or some shit. With TikTok, luckily you don't do that when you quit, because if you're scrolling 4 hours a day, it is an addiction and you can't stop. It is an addiction. The only withdrawal symptom is you'll open your phone and you'll like scroll to the app, like where it was on your phone, and then click it and nothing happens. And at this point, you either move on with your life, you're like, oh yeah, I quit TikTok, I remember, or you re-download it because you want it back there. You want it in the comfort of clicking it with your finger and feeling the fucking baby grunt. But usually if you stay strong, like, you know, when your finger goes to it and nothing's there, you stay strong for like a week, it's fine. So on to mental health. The mental health impacts it had. Once again, one of the biggest and things I'm most grateful for about quitting social media. Think about it like this. When you're constantly scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whatever, you're constantly taking in these meaningless distractions. These are the only things that have merit in your life because it's all you spend doing. They'll be bouncing around your head all the time, causing you this buzz, this anxiety, this layer over the world. You'll hear certain things, you hear this and that, usually negative stuff. Like on TikTok, I vividly remember scrolling and constantly seeing some negative stuff while they're talking bad about this person, saying how this is so much better than this, or putting this person down. Just negative stuff all the time. And constantly taking that negative stuff in and letting negative stuff, on top of even fun and funny stuff, all of that together, constantly filling up your head, you're going to have some anxiety. Honestly, you're going to have some overlying depression. And people seem to ignore this. They think social media is just like whatever, like everyone uses it, it's normal. That's not how our brains are wired. We're not supposed to be taking in all that stuff like that, especially all that negative stuff. Once again, like I mentioned, like constantly scrolling on YouTube Shorts and Instagram, because this video is about how I quit TikTok. I kept Instagram for a while after. I ended up deleting it. And YouTube Shorts, I never really been a watcher of them in the first place. But one of the biggest things I've noticed with people around me, even, like I've seen it in person, when they try and quit TikTok, they'll literally just go to Instagram and use Instagram Reels, or they'll just go to YouTube and use YouTube Shorts. And that defeats the entire point of deleting TikTok. And I will say TikTok is the worst social media for your mental health, for everything, for your attention. It is heavily coded and made. The algorithm is perfectly catered to you to make sure you're addicted. And Instagram and YouTube Shorts don't have it as heavily, but they're still just as attention ruining, just as much of a meaningless distraction as TikTok. And if you resort to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts once you delete TikTok, you're defeating the point of what you're doing in the first place. Another struggle with deleting TikTok is, for a little bit, you'll feel this sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. But then it kind of clicks. Like I'll see this baby Gronk shit or like whatever TikTok thing is popular, and it's like I'm not missing out on anything. I'm missing out on the stupidest shit that I would find funny for like 5 minutes and then forget about in a week. Like you're not missing out on anything. You're missing out on people complaining about this and that, disagreeing about this and that, being divided, being negative, and you're missing out on stupid, meaningless, like unfunny memes, dopamine. Nothing beats for the first time, right? You'll probably experience this if you fully quit social media for like a couple weeks, maybe a month. You'll wake up one day and this is a beautiful feeling. You'll just feel giddy, happy. You'll be smiling. You kind of giggle to yourself. You'll just be grateful to be alive. Your brain will actually be able to process how great it is that you are alive. And it's such a beautiful feeling. Definitely one of the most underrated quitting social media effects is this feeling of just giddiness, happiness. And paired with meditation, journaling, seeing nature, having a good social friend group around you, this giddiness, happiness, and gratefulness, this gratitude is only, exemplified. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's exemplified. And it feels so good. It's like taking off this layer over your eyes. Like you've been wearing these glasses for so long and you finally took them off. You're like, whoa, it's so beautiful. And of course, kind of mentioned before earlier with the attention thing. With better attention, for one, you can enter deep work better, right? Like you can focus on one task, complete it faster, complete it more efficiently, complete it more intelligently. But just not spending hours of your day scrolling, you'll have more time. More time to do things that are actually fulfilling, lifting, spending time with your family, spending time with your friends, working on your purpose, whatever it may be. Things that are real, things you can be present in. And paired with the whole time thing, with quitting social media, the best way to not crave it and not just have your finger instantly go to it is fill your time up with other things. Like said before, a hobby, lifting, working out, working on your purpose, spending time with people, etc., etc. That's the best way to not crave it. Have your mind occupied on real present things and on people around you, right? Because if you delete social media, chances are not everyone around you is going to delete it too. So you'll often see people on social media and you'll really you'll almost feel bad for them, not like pity, but you'll just wish you could just delete it for them and open them to this new layer of life. As dramatic as that sounds. But in my experience, you can't preach to them. You can't exactly preach like, dude, you have to delete it. It's so bad for you and you'll feel so much better without it. People will just start resenting you. So don't preach, but instead, focus on yourself. Make progress, visible progress, whether it be with your business, whether it be with your body, whether it be with your mental health, your looks, etc., etc. Things people can see that, wow, he's doing this, and it's actually causing him progress and happiness, fulfillment. Maybe I should do it. That's how you get people on self-improvement. That's how you get people to delete social media. Sure, maybe mention like, oh yeah, I deleted TikTok. Maybe it'll plant a seed in their head, but do not preach. Moral of the story, the clearness of head, the clearness of anxiety, the giddiness, the happiness, the attention, the time. Those are so many, like I just named so many amazing things that so many people struggle with. And it really mostly comes down to how much instant gratification and social media and dopamine they're taking in. None of this short-term gratification or dopamine is worth anything compared to the benefits you get from controlling yourself, from not spending so much time on it. So if you're watching this and you haven't already deleted TikTok, stayed off social media, stop scrolling on Instagram, stop scrolling on YouTube Shorts, start today. I promise you the benefits are so worth it. Like, I'm preaching to you right now because I am a self-improvement guru. Goddamn, camera turned off. Moral of the story, I already said that. But on that note, community of Abrian in the description. It's my Discord server. Plenty of cool people to talk to. One-on-one calling. I do tailored self-improvement. No Nut November is coming up, so like if you need some No Nut November fucking direct one-on-one coaching, I got you there. Free workouts also in the description. And I will, in fact, see you in the next one, but not before this.